I saw Absterge on Twitter make a post, and I thought it was something that's worth talking about because I thought there was some interesting replies. So I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna read out Mr. Sturge's post, and we can go through some of the comments. And I was thinking about making a list too. So we got Absterge, Mr. Montana. You guys don't know who Absterge is? He's a shaman / healer for the Move. One of the original founding members of the Move. Very high rated player. I like him. But yeah, let's see what he said. Okay, so we're gonna scroll down a little bit. There's Sea-Doo. Okay, so this is the post. I made a post on Twitter, and it is, what is preventing you from playing PvP and Arena and Dragonflight? Gearing is easier and faster than ever before. So what is it? And he says, hard to find partners, shuffle queue times, add-on requirements. What is stopping you? There's no wrong answers. Please reply below. And it says 273 comments. So let's start here. Lika says, finding teammates is hard. No one wants to commit. Need to play an S tier comp to have fun. I think both of those are, yep. So hard to find teammates. That's a good one. Shuffle queue times. That's a good one. I'm gonna write down the most common ones that we hear. Shuffle queue times. Toxic lobbies. I'm not gonna write that one down. Only ever get melee lobbies as a warlock, and I feel like I need to play 100 times better than the melee to win. All right, let's keep going. Frofsy says, I still play very casually. My problem with PvP for a long time is there is nothing special about comps or specs anymore. RMP used to do 3 times less damage than an LSD overall, but had infinite CC plus burst compared to consistent. Rogues went for resell. Now everyone just does damn. So that's like a, what is that, like homogenization problem? Do you guys think homogenization is a problem in the game? No, no, yes, yes, not really. I think I see the argument. I see the argument. This is something that like Jellybeans was talking about. He wishes the game would return more to like a rock, paper, scissors faction. Because what ends up happening, and this is a conversation that I've had with Supatees many times, is like when everything is so similar and everybody has everything, like everyone has an interrupt, everyone has a stun, everyone has a wall, everyone blah, 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 blah. Everyone has the same thing. What ends up happening is somebody just has it a little better. You know what I mean? Somebody just has it a little better, and then they end up just completely overtaking that role. You know? So that's an interesting point. Mobility creep mainly. Kiting a demon hunter or a windwalker never really makes sense. Okay. Big Volkov Dam. This is my friend Nick. He says game doesn't feel fun unless you're playing a meta comp. Can play well as an off meta comp and still get crushed because of huge variances in spec balance season to season. I actually I'm one of those people. I think that when the game is slow, the balance is worse. Like this problem he's talking about, where if you're not playing if you're not playing a meta comp, you lose. That is mostly a problem when the game is slow, because I feel like if the game is fast enough, like the off meta comps can at least somewhat find like a win condition. But when the game is really, really slow, when you're trying to kill these like immortal, super tanky classes, it just feels like not only do they do more damage than you, they have more pressure, more CC, but they're not going to die, you know? So, yeah, that's another interesting one. Mortai says, I play all the time, BGs, but lack of rewards. Outdated MMR system. Yeah, I think both of those are good. Those are going on the list. Too much focus around 3v3. BG / unrated PvP needs more attention. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Lack of introduction for new players to PvP. Yeah, that could be one too. Let's see. Cool. I think there's a lot of good points there. Like probably BGs need a little bit of a facelift. I think they just need to redo the whole like reward structure in PvP and WoW. It's been the same since like the Burning Crusade, you know? And I think it could be a lot better. All right, cool. Let's keep going. Demon Hunters and Rogues. That's a spec balance thing, I think. But yeah. The lack of Nelfussy in Arena. I don't know what that is, but PvP players need to queue real solo queue, not the solo shuffle. Solo queue should work with 3v3 team queue. All right. Let's keep going. Cheating. Oh, sorry, not cheating. Creating all the macros and keybind stuffs and having different profiles for PvE and PvP is a tilter. Once done, it is fun. Also, the amount of classes. There's too many spells to be aware of and track. Doesn't feel good to lose the lack of knowledge even after a ton of games. Yeah. I think that's another one. I think that's one that like kind of constantly comes up, and I feel like it's a debate within the community when it comes to like complicated macros and add-ons. And I don't know if you guys had a chance to see. Polymore made a video about it, but it was in my stream. We discovered a macro for Outlaw Rogue, where with one button you can make a macro that's one button. Okay, so let's say you're a rogue and you're in the middle of like a fight. You're fighting a bunch of melee and there's a healer off to the side that you want to shadow step kick. You can actually make a one button macro. You can make a one button macro and one button that pre-harpoons where you're standing. So if you put your mouse on the floor, it will pre-harpoon and then go and shadow step kick the off target. So you can, in one button, instantly harpoon back after shadow step kicking without even thinking about it or doing anything. It's so weird. Like macros like that, I think one of the problems with that macro in particular is there's so many things that are off global. Like why is all of Rogue's mobility off global? Can somebody explain that to me? Like on a monk, when I roll, I'm on global. When I flying serpent kick, I'm on global. When I tiger palm, I'm on global. Like, why? Why is it like that? I don't know. Good question. If you guys want to link it to me, I can show it. Shuffle queue times and the meta. Ret, Outlaw, Demon Hunter have all been a meta for a majority of Dragonflight. There's been unfun classes to play against. Feels like there's zero outplay when you're going against these classes. That's a Ret, Outlaw, and DH, okay? Logging on, spending 30 minutes looking for a team so I can actually play one game, lose, the healer leaves. Now I have to spend 30 more minutes. Yeah, it's tough. I think the LFG experience is a lot better if you're playing OP stuff too. What's this? All right, so I'm going to show you guys that macro.
Hey, Palomar here, and welcome back to another quick video. And I see this rogue, and I kept watching. I was kind of like half paying attention, and then I actually noticed...
So watch this. I'll full screen this really quick. Look at this macro. Look what this rogue does.
Venruki pointed something.
I thought this guy was a bot. I still think that this guy's a bot, by the way. I still think that this guy's a bot, but look what he does here. Okay. You can recreate what he did. Look what he does, okay? You can do this. Anyone can do this. Okay, so I'm casting a rep. Look at this. He shadow step kicks me, and he's already harpooning back to where he was. All in one button. Like, that shit's fucking wild. And you can do that with a macro. And you guys are probably like, what macro is that? I'm not telling you. No, it's in the video if you want it, but yeah. Anyways. Yeah, so that's I think that's one of the reasons why people flavor of the month of reroll so bad is if you're like right now, for example, if you're a healer, like let's say you make a healer, okay? And you want to play some twos. The class you're going to want to play with more than anything, I guess. Like if you're a healer in twos, what's the one class you want to play with above anything else? Because it's going to be the lowest. It's DH. Yeah, you got it. It's DH. So like I think one of the reasons why people like flavor of the month rerolling so much is because it just creates this smoothest experience. Like everyone's, you know, You're the hottest new gadget. You know, even if you're 2 DPS, if you're a healer and you want to play, why on earth would you make a disc priest for 3s? Nobody wants you. You're not going to get a game. They want shaman. They want druid. That's what they want. You know what I mean? They want a fist weaver. That's what they want. They don't want a disc priest. So like the whole LFG experience, I think, is even worse because it feels like, and I'm guilty of this myself. Like when I'm playing healer and people sign up to play with me, it's like, ooh, there's a fire mage or a demon hunter. Which one am I going to have more fun with? Probably the demon hunter, you know? All right. I played too many. My brain stopped functioning and decided I need a break. Yeah, that's fair. Glide cutoff should be 0.5% of unique players. Okay. Melee literally 1, 2, 3 the entire game and tunnel vision you. They have higher chance to win if you're playing a caster. You have to play 100 times better. Q times. I ended up playing 2 accounts to double Q. It's ridiculous. Slow PvP tuning. They let the game go unbalanced for weeks, even months before doing anything. I do think PvP changes in general have been good. As of late, it seems like they're non-existent though. I feel like it's been a while. And I do think that there's some clear outliers. And I actually think that they should revert the stamina change. I think the stamina change, after seeing it play out, made the game worse and more boring. I really think they should revert it. That's my own opinion, but that's how I feel. Because yeah, right now it's really hard to kill anything. Most of the incentives to play are pinnacle rewards that I won't achieve, and my friends prefer PvE. This is the lack of rewards thing. I still am a firm believer that most of the rewards, maybe 95% of the rewards, should be given to people for just playing PvP. You know, like playing competitive PvP. I think there should be some unique rating rewards because I think it encourages people to push and stuff like that. But I think most of the rewards should be just off playing. But yeah, that's what I think. I've gone to reset several times in the past few months, but when I think about setting up the add-ons and the UI, back out of it. I made a healer and Q times aren't a problem, but healer incentives are really bad, so that's discouraging as well. Yeah, healer. If there was more healers in the game, Soul Shuffle would be fixed a bit. I hate PvP and WoW. That's all the end. Cool. Erase add-ons from the game. Another add-on complaint. Healers rating gains and shuffle 330 points 4-2. Yeah, that's the biggest thing with the healer. Like for healers, the weird one is you're only playing against one other person. You know, so the MMR system is a lot less forgiving. It's super punishing, especially if you get unlucky. And like, let's say in a day you queue 5 times, and every single time you queue, you get someone that's lower MMR than you. It becomes extremely difficult to climb. I find the game very stressful now, guys. I don't know what it is. I think the add-ons and weak auras, everyone feels like a robot now. Feels like in any bracket, people are better at reacting to killing my totems than even the best players back in the day. Still have fun sometimes, though. The weak auras. Healing Tide Totem, alert, alert. Healing Stream Totem, alert, alert. And just whack all the totems. Even myself, I use a special weak aura that like highlights all the totems, so it's easier for me to kill and see them. Why not? I think micro CC and WoW is the worst thing ever. I don't mind sitting a 6-second fear, but then after that, 3-second coil, 3-second axe toss. I kind of want to play Demo Warlock. You're getting me excited to play Demo. Maybe I should. Mostly not having a team to play with. Got 2800 in Shuffle in the second week of Soul Shuffle when it came out and decided I didn't like it. Now I can just never find people that want to play more than 5 games. They'll leave it after 9 wins, 1 loss. If I had a team, I would blast games. Yeah, I think LFG definitely needs an overhaul. LFG is super outdated, I think. Q times, add-on bloat. A lot of classes are unfun to face. What do you guys think are the most toxic classes in the game? Arcane Mage is super toxic. Frost Mage is really toxic. Frost Mage, Arcane Mage, mega toxic. Demon Hunters, toxic. Outlaw, toxic. Punch Monk is like peak toxic. Fuck. Punch Monk, dude. Pet classes like Demo and BM. What are ethical specs? What are like the specs that more specs should be like that aren't super obnoxious to face? Like Holy Paladin? Yeah, Holy Paladin's not bad. Fire Mage is okay. Fire Mage is kind of toxic in some ways, but yeah. Ellie Shaman? No, I hate Ellie Shaman. Fury Warrior. Survival Hunter. Yeah. Enhance has perfect design. Does it? No, Feral is not. Yeah. Tank classes, Shadow Priest, Windwalker. Well, the whole idea is just I'm talking about some of the specs that are really, really like Frost Decays, yeah. I'd rather just queue Law, hate Lost and Shadow Priest together. I just think there's some classes that at a base they're just really frustrating to fight. I don't like DKs. I hate Abomination Limb. I don't know why DKs have 2 grips. I hate Abomination Limb, and the fact that DKs need 2 grips and A-Bombs Limb is just tells you where it's at, you know? It's weird. But with that in mind, I will say, so, you know, a little negative, but here's the positive. I also feel like I've been playing more specs than ever and having more fun on those specs. So I think there's a lot of specs that are super fun to play, and I have been playing more specs than I ever have before. I still queue, but infrequent balance changes, poorly performing specs, can't find people to play with. As I play one of the worst specs, yeah. If you play a bad spec, no one likes you. Unfortunate. Shuffle queues certainly don't help, but at the end, it's the same reason it's always been. I don't enjoy WoW PvP. I don't want to spend my life running around pillars or being able to unable to control my character. Okay. Finding partners is number 1 for me. Past 12 seasons, I've only managed to have a team to queue for rank 1 the last week. It feels harder now that Shuffle's been introduced. Old friends quitting makes it harder to log on as well. The game feels very antisocial. Shuffle queue times are impossibly long. Finding teammates is impossible. LFG is horrible. Solo queue times are terrible. Community isn't as welcoming as it was in the past. I don't think the community, like, I'm going to be honest. I never understand those tastes completely because I feel like I've never found a competitive gaming community that's like sunshines and rainbows and happiness. I've never experienced that in my life. Any game that I play that's competitive and has a rating on the line, it's human nature. I don't think it's like the community. I think it's just human nature, the way people are. Like offloading responsibility onto other people, blaming everyone for your own shortcomings. Like it's easier to blame someone else. You know, it's like that in any game. That's a human nature thing. I don't think that has anything to do with WoW, personally. But yeah, I thought this was a good post. I mean, obviously, yeah, class / game design. Shuffle queue times are annoying. No consistent or reliable partner. Solo queue times. I actually like solo shuffle. Healing is too stressful and annoying to learn in my friend group. 99% of people have the same problems as I do, and if they disagree, they're antisocial and have a hard time forming lasting relationships in the game. That is it. Yeah, anyways, it's a good list. It's a good conversation worth having. Like I said, I didn't bring this up to be negative about the game or anything like that, but just some ideas for what I think would be really, really cool if they ended up adding in the next expansion, right? Like going into War Within, I think would be sick if some of these things were addressed and they improved upon it. I would love it.